incompetence. So if you're incompetent, so absolutely nothing productive going to happen to yourself and to the team as well. And undependable. You cannot stand by yourself. You cannot design by yourself. Guys, when you got through from this time and you're still starting in your school, be dependent on yourself. Don't depend to others. For example, you have a group. You have a group to be this a project for the group. Then all of a sudden, you're going to think that okay, they can do it. I just going to give something to them. So you really cannot absolutely describe yourself as dependable. So you're going to depend to others. Overthinker, yeah. One of the attitude that we absolutely need to adjust, because sometimes overthinking things are really so not good to the group. Sometimes you're the one who's pulling down to your team. Okay, now I'm going to ask all of you, I'm going to call, give me some weaknesses that you have. Okay. Let's start with June Michael Perez.
I am a lazy and impatient and easily get bored. That's all. And an overthinker, sir.
Okay. So why can you say so? Overthink. Give me an example of that you're in the point of being overthinker.
I always answer. I always think of a scenario nga sige na unsay mahitabo sir ba kung ako na siya buhaton or dili or or usay sir kay kuan mag-imagine ako mga scenario nga impossible kay mahitabo ba. And mo na makako sa pag-overthink na ko sir ba. Love. So baka ni.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Murag wala pa gani mo na try, then ano na kay murag imo na nang i-judge mo galingon that it's not going to work, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's good. So Rhea May Lasho?
Rhea.
What could be your weakness?
Yami
You're in yourself.
Yami.
Lazy, sir, and lack of confidence.
Oh, lack of confidence, lazy. Okay, give me an example, a simple scenario of you that you consider that you're lacking of confidence.
Example, karon.
Example, karon, you're not confident to answer the question.
Dili lang, sir, like, mao lang.
Maulaw lang ka. Okay, let's see. So can I have Shane Keith Müller? Oh, this is kind of a German family name. Shane?
Mrs. Ninyo.
Yes, sir. Shane Keith yes, sir. I have kanang ko answer. Manana habit, sir. Like I always procrastinate.
Why? Give me an what it calls one. Give me a scenario. Then this kind of attitude of yours, the manana habit that drags you to disaster. I mean to something negative that happens to you.
For example, sir, our subject, our what they call this, our teacher or our
professor
gives activity to us, and then I always like
later na lang.
Later na lang because I'm tired later. I want to surf more internet.
Okay. Then what happened to you? Is there something happened to you na nawala ka pass because kay nagunya-unya ka? Or nag-cramming na ka?
Dili, sir. Nag-cramming na, sir. Just 12 na matulog.
See? Okay, in that case, guys, that's good. At least you, within yourself, you know already your weaknesses. This kind of very small, there's just few examples that I've shown you here. So, Shane, thank you for that. May have have Real John Ursal. Mr. Real John? Real John? No. Okay. May have Anna Lorraine Tumulak. Hello? Anna Lorraine? Okay. Can I have... Did I call already Michelle Manatad?
Not yet, sir.
Wala pa, sir.
Okay. Michelle, what's your weakness?
Sir, overthinker. O ng lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence. Okay. At least you admit that you're lacking of confidence. That's really good. That's nice. Okay. So guys, these really those weaknesses are just the negative side of you. But don't worry, there's nothing to be worried about of it because this just being yourself. So at least those kind of attitude that you do have are just welcoming your being yourself. Okay, next. So how to overcome? These are just a few points, or these are just a few ideas on how to overcome. How to overcome your weaknesses. Recognize and accept your weaknesses. At first, of course, you're going to accept it. That, hindi na, murag, kinay ko inani nga attitude. Murag, kinahanglan dyan na ako first is acceptance. I-accept dyan mo nga, murag, wala na dyan. Dili lang sa kay i-accept mo nga, nagbuwag na mo, but then again, but in yourself. You can turn a weakness into strength. You're busy denying of weaknesses exist. Okay, here's one of the attitude that how we're going to overcome if you're not going to accept and you still keep on denying about your weaknesses. That those attitudes that you do have, which is the negative one, exist within yourself. So, how to overcome? You need to accept those. Then get guidance from someone you trust. Okay, this are we go your the person that you can trust. It could be your parents, your mom and your dad, or your brothers, your best friends. If you do have, hopefully you don't have, you do have girlfriends or boyfriends. If you do have already, then if you trust really this one, why you do have this kind of attitude and how you're going to overcome those. Give to be guidance. Most probably, guys, advice to you a little bit older to you, maybe your professors or you trusted of older to you, your siblings, your ate and your kuyas, and your parents, most probably much better, or anybody older than you that matured enough to think things. So at least they can give you ideas to guide you in a way what they're going to, on how you're going to overcome, on how you're going to develop your weakness into your strengths. So then, starts to change perspectives towards your self-capabilities. Okay, this is also one way of you that you're going to have the perspectives. Because, for example, you're shy. Ay, dili ko pwede aning hotel management industry because I'm not that confident. Diba? So, mo bira sa inyo, which is supposedly the confidence always brings you to a better version of yourself. So always change it. Change those negative perspectives, and in order you're going to develop, or otherwise you're going to change your negativities into a better version of yourself, into better capabilities, or maybe discover something about yourself. Maybe what about some of you who's really shy? Maybe some of you could be a host, OC. Host in in an event, not in a virtual, because sometimes in the virtual is okay because nobody sees you. But maybe in the future you could be a host in a certain event, and where you're going to show your confidence, to talk to the people, to show yourself. So guys, don't be shy. To those people who's really shy, try to slowly remove those kind of attitude, because as long as you're going to be shy, nothing is going to happen to you, because maybe there's really something inside of you that wala pa jud ni gawa sa inyo ha. So if you're shy, if you keep on staying being a shy one, then nothing going to happen to you. So next, self-strength. Self-strength is an emotional or mental qualities necessary in dealing with situations or events that are distressing or difficult. These are the attitude you're going to change or to going to use in order to survive in a certain situation, in order to deal those kind of difficulties or that makes you weak. So these are the strengths. You're really enthusiastic, trustworthy, creative, disciplined, patient, respectful, you have a lot of determination and dedication for it. So anything we're doing, regardless, is very small and a very kanang subuon mo yung parents. This is only also a good attitude or use your strength that you're always respectful to your parents, and they're also disciplined on how you already know how to do your household chores, for example. The creativity that always goes with how you're going to look for a ways on how to finish a certain task or to accomplish something that you're going to be more productive, to make more proud of yourself, maybe. Not maybe, but absolutely, that's one way of going to be yourself. So, I have for the self-strength, may call Bob Vincent, Barcelona. Bob? Nobody's Bob here? Okay. May have Miss Brenda Rosaleos. Okay. Okay, Brenda, what could be your strengths?
Discipline, patience, respectfulness, and determination.
Okay, for those points of characteristics or attitude that you have, give me one scenario that you're really proud of that you accomplished because of these strengths of yours.
Patient with determination. Kay kanang bisag dugay maabta nagmamo ana lang gyapon nga kaya ra lagi ni. Maabot ra gyud kaya huwat ra ko huwat. Atad maabot og gestures.
Oh, very good. Nice. Okay. Miss Alice Sandra Lauron. Alice? What happened to you guys? So can I have Miss Honeleth Sonido? Honeleth? Okay, next could be Maria Paula Andrea. Hello? So can I have Miss Rose Kenneth Suico?
Yes, sir.
That's okay. So Rose, what could be your strength?
Discipline, patience, determination, and dedication, sir.
Okay, just like others, can you give me an example how a scenario that you use that you shows your strength?
So, like sa determination, sir, bisag dili nako kaya pero ginabuhat doon ako, sir, para mahimo ang isa ka task or isa ka project like that.
Oh.
Like,
Then you achieve a good grade to that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's nice. So we're just going, maybe have, okay, we'll just make it a little bit more faster because we still have one more. So we have the next slide would be how to develop self-awareness. Then self-awareness represents the first step of building inner strengths. So you're going to be aware of yourself. Be sensitive. Sensitive to yourself this could be an attitude of yours that you're going to develop. This kind of self-awareness that is also could help you on how we're going to maintain, because sometimes maintaining your personality is really quite difficult. Maybe sometimes really not considered also to you to being so overpowering yourself that turns to you already, instead of that could be your weakness and turns already as your negative one. So those kind of attitude, please to refuse to do that, and always be sensitive to yourself. Always be aware of your personality as much as you can. Okay, open yourself to new experiences. Okay, explore something. What do you call this one? Do something different. Do something that you're not get used to. As long as it's not going to harm you, as long as it's not going to make you in a situation that you're going to be in a very difficult one, then do it. Do it as long as you think that you're capable of doing it. Then you could. And for example, to those people who are shy, okay, you're shy, and then maybe you can be a presenter to your class or to your group. And to those people who are really not so confident about themselves, they're not shy, but they're just not too confident. Because being shy and not confident are different. Because if you're shy, but you have a lot of ideas, but you really don't like to talk because you're shy. But to the confident is also the people or individual, they are the one who's doing I'm not so sure about it, something like this. So you're not totally confident about this. And then always trust yourself to gain more confidence. Just push yourself. Kanang i-push yung kagalingon ba nga, I can do all of these things. I can try. Okay, I try. There's no harm in trying. As long as you're not hurting someone, as long as not going to hurt someone in the future, and then after you talk or after you to present the situation or the presentation, and absolutely it's going to be fine. Your teachers or whoever, or the manager or whoever you're going to present with about yourself, you're going to try to push yourself and to be more confident about yourself, then everything will going to be okay. For example, so one of the example of that is where you're applying a job. One of the one of the example is, I know this is out of the box already of your field, which is all of you is already in the hospitality industry. Okay, one of the example that I experienced is in the BPO industry. You're given a questions wherein out of the box that you really can't imagine. Those questions are really like you can say that what? Unsaon man na siya? Yeah. For example, let's say how are you going to use how are you going to tell, for example, you are a rat or a mouse. How are you going to convince a cat not to eat you? Diba? How? Those questions you can say, you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of inside of you that going to push yourself. Then there's no harm in trying on it, and then push what you think could be your idea. So and then the next would be focused to your self-development. Always focus to yourself as much as you can. As long as you're not hurting someone, you're not going to make an issue to others, not going to hurt somebody or to the group, then everything will going to be fall into great places, guys. Always remember that. As long as you're not going to make any harm to anyone, it's not going to make someone to be down, and then things were going to be in the right faults. Fall into its correct situation. So focus to self-development. Okay, regardless if it's male or female, or to those girls or boys, more especially to the women, or we can say also for the male. For example, in a situation wherein you get into a dependent, Okay, for example, to your parents, you always be really so dependent about yourself to your parents. Everything what you're doing, mama, papa, ate, kuya, whoever is guiding you or who's your guardian, who's going to support you. You're always depending on them. Okay, don't get me wrong, guys, but this is not going. I'm not cursing any one of this. Okay, what if time will happen? Time will come, or there's a situation that come to the point you're alone. If if you keep on depending to these people of yours, how are you going to stand by your own feet? How are you going to develop yourself if you're really not dependent on yourself? Always remember, the one who's going to put up of yourself is only you. No other than not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your mom, not your dad, but yourself. In this situation of yours, everything what you're doing in life is just about yourself. Because guys, let me just tell you, you see already the view already during the the introduction a while ago, that I wasn't able to finish college. Okay, lucky you do have the opportunity to go to college. You have the opportunity to finish in college. Now you have already the baby steps of getting to fulfill your dreams in terms with taking your diploma. Okay, if you're just going to be there in the right path and you're going to put yourself in the positive way, regardless you're going to be down in the future as well, there's a lot of obstacle course, or let's say considered that would be an absolute problems in between. How are you going to fight for those kind of situation if you're really not self-dependent? You're not going to be you wasn't able to develop yourself. You're still depending to someone. Guys, you're not kids anymore. I mean, you're not going to be considered kids. Maybe some of you are still teens, but you're already going up to your age. You're going to get older. You're not like going to ask your milk. You're not going to ask your diapers anymore. But in the future, you want to have your plans. You want to go different places. You want to go with this one. How are you going to fulfill those dreams of yours? How are you going to fulfill or to buy those stuff that you really wanted to if you're still going to depend on your parents? And what if your parents cannot give you, or don't have an opportunity to give you those kind of those things or materials, or to teach you or to help you in the future to fulfill your dreams? If you're not really, you wasn't able to develop yourself. If you're still depending to someone, or you're still depending to the old version of yourself, guys. And a part of it, for me in my case, at the age of 18, I was already in the field of I'm living alone. So I depend to anyone. I have my fall downs. I have to the point that there's the situation wherein I can consider that, okay, I'm done. I think this is really the dead end of the situation. But because of the faith that I have in God, and the faith, or I have my self confidence, I'm not that smart. Just try to imagine. I have also the flaws. I'm big, and also just educational attainment. I'm really nothing. And considered nothing. Maybe yes. Only that I have is myself, my confidence, maybe the experience that I have. Yes, that could be possible. But what brought me in the forward of my life to achieve those achievements that I have achieved, compared to those people who wasn't able, who already finished their degrees, have their baccalaureate degree, they have their master's degree, but unfortunately they're still stuck to a certain situation, that still dreaming. But for example, my classmate, they really, you know what? I'm really looking forward to be like you. I said, oh, how come? Wherein you finished college, you already finished your master's degree. You have one of the most, you're working already in the most prestigious company. Okay? But they're still not fulfilled in a way that there's still something beyond of them, that they're still looking forward, okay, but I cannot do this. But see, guys, if you really wanted to achieve your dreams in the forward of your life, then always depend yourself to yourself. You get me? It's not easy. It's not easy in a look forward of yours. It's not easy to develop yourself. Of course, that's what you call take time. You need to take time of it. That's why if you feel or you sees yourself, that's really something beyond that you can you can do more, then do it. Just try to imagine during my time in when having the interview. I'm the fifth or the sixth person. The first 2, 3, 4 person around me, before me, were just from from prestigious hotel resorts. During the interview that I have, they're from Shangri-La, they're from Waterfront, they're from Radisson Blue, and more on no, 2 from Shangri-La, 1 from Waterfront, and 1 from Radisson. I'm the fifth, I think. And then I just started my career in the resort industry, in the hospitality industry, to boost this kind of confidence that I have. So those 4 people who have already had experience, a great experience from those prestigious hotel, 5-star hotel you may consider, I don't know if they pass or not. But for those 4 people who came out from the room after the interview, I cannot explain. I get scared. I get more scared. Why? Because those people they're just high by themselves, and then the face is just blank. You mean no emotions? They're not crying they're not sad or something, or maybe they're hiding themselves. But as far as I ask, kay naman tayo pagka-marites, pagka-chismosa, na doon na ibuan ako nga those 4 people wasn't able to pass. So I must really get scared. Because who am I? I'm just a little individual, or ordinary one applicant who came from the ordinary resort, or just a starting resort. Then I have experienced maybe a small few one, but those people already calibrated with their experiences, because they are 5 years, they already have 7 years, 8 years. But how? But me, I have only maybe in that particular time only 1 year, almost 2 years. So how am I going to boost myself? So when I get entered in this room, I just, of course, for muna siya ka na marag tips sa inyo ha, when you get into sign of a cross, always put yourself to God. And then later, okay, when you get an interview, and then tell me something about yourself. That's why, guys, I'm making this presentation of is about yourself, because in everything what you do, in everything in your plans is, or wherever you wanted to do, those things, those what do you call this one, those diplomas do you have, those medals that you have, doesn't put on your forehead to show to the people that you are a cum laude, summa cum laude individual. No, it doesn't. Rather, those the one who are going to put you in the top, or to let you pass, or to put you in a confidence level, is yourself. If you really can put yourself forward, and then don't get to hesitate. That's why, as long as you're, again, I repeat, it sounds really redundant to everyone, that as long as you don't do anything to others, don't get scared. As long as you're not hurting anybody, don't get scared. As long as you're putting yourself forward to be more about to develop about yourself, then move forward about it. Lies doesn't give you good future. Just present, be honest, because authenticity, guys, always keep you forward. Always be honest about yourself. That's it. Okay, just a second. Announce ko lang. Nalubat. Okay, next, we're done. We're done for the develop. So since you still do have a presentation, other presenter. So okay, questions to anyone. Hello? Does anyone to have questions? Don't worry, I'm going to answer it. Any questions?
Oh, we have questions prepared.
Sure.
For you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Please. Yes. Yes. What's your question? Hello?
Sir,
Yes.
I'll be giving the floor to Rose, sir, for
Okay.
the question.
Sure.
Okay, good afternoon again, sir.
Hey.
Here's our first question.
Hmm.
What is or are the most memorable experiences you had while working in the hospitality industry?
Okay. I just want to make clear. Does device in the land here in the Philippines, Cebu, or in the ship? Because in the ship also is I have a experience in the ship. At the same time, I have also experience in the private yacht.
Both? Okay, if it's okay, sir? Both?
Yeah, sure. Okay, experience. Also, what again? That was a good experience.
Most memorable experiences
Memorable.
you had.
Okay, good. That was when I was working in Crimson Resort and Spa. That was memorable. Okay, first is let's have a memorable in the negative way. I give you have this kind of situation that already triggers to the point that I'm already in the point of what do you call it? What how are you gonna say this? Surrendering. Murag mo surrender na jud ko ni ambot na jud sa peak. I'm working in a certain company as a supervisor. In a one of the fine dining restaurants here in Cebu. And then at that time I was a supervisor, and then I'm really close to my crew, to my staff. All of those people was there supporting me because when I'm just a newbie that time as a supervisor, and then later I was I don't know what the issue was with my co-supervisor. He just got jealous. She just got jealous to me because when I come after a week, all of those staff there in the restaurants really love me so much in a way that they're always asking permission to me. They're always giving me tokens of appreciation, even to the smallest one. Even what because when giving me chocolate, for example, bisag ginagmay lang forget pa mga on sila mga like chips. They really what because when they always trying to blend with me. Okay, this one of the memorable way that they always trying to memorable way. But here's the negative one. On that, there's a situation wherein my cashier, what do you call this one, drop the money on the in the vault, which is of course I trusted my guys. I trusted each one of you guys as my staff, of course, because they're just just like my little sisters. I mean, yeah, I'm older to them, and then they're just my little sisters. Maybe some of them is just like all that time was just almost same with my age, or some of them are just older than me that time. But then that particular situation, all of those people around me are just my family. So the full trust of mine was there. Oh, okay. Then one time, nag-check na sila sa reports in terms with money. Then, able to make the little bit short story short, nawala ang neither sa starting cost na nawala. Wherein, I said, what? And then, niabot na sa time nga ako gipasanglan ako nangawat. I said to the owner and the manager, you know what, sir, ma'am, yes, I wasn't able to finish college, but stealing money was never been into my vocabulary. I never lied to anyone in terms with my credentials. I told you ever since then what was my background, what was my, even you're going to call my previous companies, those companies are absolutely companies that really proud to came from. But to the point nga gipasahilan ko, niabot na ko sa NLRC, nag-file na ko case and stuff and everything. Then, to the point that I'm a store supervisor, since then, ni conclude na ko nga murag dead end na siya. Maybe I'm going to surrender in a way that murag ako na gipasailan, ako na mo bayad, or otherwise it's either kung hindi ko mo bayad, mapriso ko. So diba, it's murag siya, lose na gito siya sa akong career dyan murag, okay, wala, dead end na, finish story. But for sure, for myself and to other staff that I have, they pretty much sure na I'm innocent with the situation. I'm pretty much innocent about this because for what am I going to to get into those kind of situation to steal money, wherein supposedly it's not mine. I don't own it. I don't work hard for it. It's from the company. So I was really devastated until to the point that, okay, I'm going to commit suicide. Kay akong family, okay, you ask where is my family? My family, because my family don't support me. Neither nor to give me a chance to give me some help in order to survive or to overcome this kind of big problem that I have. Just try to imagine around 30,000, 34,000, I think. So it's a very big money. Just try to imagine that. So I don't know. I don't know where other situation or what other option I'm going to grasp. So I consider that situation was memorable. But I was really thankful that time that situation was giving me stronger to be more thankful to God. Because try to imagine, mapreso ko, nang wala ko gibuhat nga dautan. Imagine. Yeah? And then, okay. But I was thankful that time because all of my staff in the restaurant was gisave nilang tip, gihatag nila sa kuha. You know what? How are you going to appreciate those kind of situation in your life that you already have the end, that you never forgot those kind of situation na dead end na siya, pero there's still a light that God gives you on how to appreciate and to survive in life. Maybe that's the most memorable here that I have, the struggles that I have been with here in Cebu. Then another memorable overseas could be the first the experience in the ship. Of course, since I mentioned a while ago that during the interview I didn't expect that I can pass. During the interview, of course, those kind of qualification that they have in blah 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 and stuff. But I just keeping myself honest, and I'm pretty much showing to others that I'm capable of doing something good or better, or let's say being an employee that the company is looking for. So the memorable is when I sees that was the experience in going to Vatican. I've seen only Vatican once, maybe in what you call this one, in the news, in the public affairs, in the news, in the TV. They have, for example, those Corina Sanchez, for example, those Jessica. So they have this kind of reportings from Vatican City and stuff. As a Catholic, for those, don't get me wrong, for those not Catholic, but as a Catholic, for sure you're going to agree with me. One of your bucket lists, if you're going to travel, is the Vatican City. And as well with memorable as well is to visit this kind of going to Jerusalem. Going to Jerusalem where God was, everything was there, and we have the excursion, we have this kind in to visit where the Christ and everything was really there in the Bible and stuff. It was really, you know what? You've done a lot of sins, but when you get there, you I don't know what's inside. It's really you're going to say it's maybe OA, or you're going to always say that I'm not sure. But when you get there in the exact place, you really can feel the air. You can feel that you really wanted to ask forgiveness to God. So maybe that could be, and also going to Vatican as well. Memorable. It's funny, guys. It's really funny that experience was one of the memorable. Why? That was my first encounter was there in Vatican City. When we get there for excursion, we go train. So when we arrive in the Vatican City, we really wanted, if you're visiting to a certain place, of course you really wanted to get inside of the church of the Vatican. But no one of my colleagues wanted to. Then I have a very, very smart and very, very wise colleague who's just like, Mark, okay, I have a technique on how to get inside of the Vatican. What? We're going to lie. We're just going, okay, Lord, sorry, really, really sorry, but we need to lie. So what we do, we go to the line, pretending that we are lost. So of course you have your convincing power. That's why your strength is your confidence. You're going to be. You push yourself. You don't get shy, because if you're confident, we're really confident. Oh, I really lost. You make a drama that your team was inside already. So excuse me, we're already lost, blah 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 and stuff. You're making your alibis and everything. Okay, guys, don't get me wrong. Please don't follow this because it's a lot of courage, a lot of experience to do this kind. Okay, you're still young, you still need to have a time. Then what we do is ask permission to the security guard, and the security guard let us get inside the control, the luggage, the what it calls one, the control panel, and then when we get inside, we run directly inside of the Vatican, and then the experience there. So imagine when you get there inside of the Vatican, those people who have a what it calls one, a tour in the Vatican, most of them, majority of them, they only get outside. But for me, it was memorable in a way that I traveled in this kind of place, wherein I have also what they call this one, to experience inside of the Vatican Church. And now I don't know if there's still a lot of people to get inside. And then one of the I'm just maybe one of the few. We still get down from the Vatican where the Pope was there, was preserved, or they have their tomb down from the Vatican Church. So I consider those, as a Catholic, one of the memorable places that I've been, and some other parts of the world that I cannot considering myself to get because I'm not rich. I'm just an ordinary individual. I just imagine I'm just living alone by myself. So where am I going to get those money to visit those places? Those maybe and traveling while working, those could be an absolute what it calls one, any very good experience for me that I can never ever forget. So something else?
Next question, sir. How did your career choices affect your lifestyle?
Affect my lifestyle. Actually, it's very easy because since then I'm just an ordinary here. Yeah, and of course I'm still ordinary until now. But before it's just like you know the point that you're having just an ordinary. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's just like to inspire you guys. Okay, affecting to my lifestyle because before I'm just really happy to have 4,000, 3,500, 4,000 pesos as my salary every 15 days, or have 8,000, majority 8,000 pesos per month as my salary. Wherein I'm very happy already. I can get this Jollibee, what's it called one, this value meal, all in how you gonna call it, getting overload whatsoever. This almost 170 or 200 something. Yeah, this one. I'm really happy with this already. For example, let's just make to this kind of situation. I'm really happy already with this. And then I have these things, or what do you call it, situation that I'm just being so happy in a very, very simple way. And then when I divert or when I change career, I mean, not changing career because it's still the same situation. I say same field, but changing atmosphere, changing environment. Maybe it affects to me that I could be more. I'm not considering myself to be a materialistic one because I'm not a kind of person who's really buying expensive things. Because I'm considering that those hardship that I have in life, what it calls one, is not really, not already changed a lot of things to me. So the lifestyle that I get, maybe a little bit changed in a way that before I cannot buy things, but right now, more especially if first 1 month or 2 weeks came from home, I can buy whatever I want. Just try to imagine the salary that I have before is 8,000 pesos. When I reach to the ship, my first salary that when I started, it's around 40,000 pesos. Just try to imagine. From 8,000 in the Philippines, go to the ship for the first experience. For the lowest position, I have already gained 40,000 pesos. Just try to imagine that times 5. Then I work hard for it. I try for after 2 years, but and then I get promoted and stuff. Because guys, not like other cruise ships, yeah. Not like other cruise ships, because other cruise ships, they are English cruise ships. I mean, what I mean is, to make it easier, your product or your guest is English speaking people, just like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, Carnival, Princess, and others. Those companies, their guests are English speaking, so it's more easier for them, for you to get more, to get easier for you to what they call this one, to get promoted. So when I get there, in my case, it's really too hard because I need to study the other language. So I need to run for this, though. What it calls one, it changed a lot, not only for myself and also to the lifestyle that I have been. I'm trying to change normally. For example, one situation is here in the Philippines, my watch is what they call this one, Unisilver. That was my watch for 2 years. 2 years, because as I said, I'm not kind of materialistic person. So when I get to the ship for first contract, that would be my second. That was my second year of my watch. Then my friend, hey, why are you still using this Unisilver watch? You're already in the ship. Buy something expensive. I said, what? And then all of my classmates, all of my colleagues already having this Fossil watch, Citizen, and other expensive for the girls, the Michael Kors, the Armani, or whatever. Maybe just a little. It changed a little of my lifestyle, maybe. Yeah, just a little. But of course, you're going to be more wiser in terms of spending. That's it. Just a little change of my lifestyle.
Last question, sir. What career mistake has given you a valuable life lesson?
Career mistake. Okay. Maybe career mistake would be at first, at the early time. I really wanted to work in a BPO. Honestly, to be honest, I'm really what do you call one? I'm really how can I say it? I'm really loving, or let's say dreaming or planning, or to be ambitious, really wanted to be a call center agent, because when I was in high school, I have my classmates who are really so what do you call one? Their siblings, their kuyas, their ates, they have this. I'm working in Convergence at the time. I was working in the sites and stuff. They're gaining a lot of money. They're gaining a lot of incentives and stuff. And I said, I get jealous, of course. I said, oh, kanindot nila, oy, kanang nagkunog sweldo 15,000, 16,000. Kanang, oy, kanang, saman, kanang, sure ka, ako, kanang, sige, kanang, mag-ano lang dyan ko, ani na lang gid ko, mag-call center na lang, mag-call center jud ko, sure jud ko, mag-call center jud ko. Kay kanang, what the calls one, kay daghan jud ko puwerta, sige mo to, pag graduate ako, high school, I'm just an ordinary one, just like when I get to UCLM, and then I was in the block section, and then all of a sudden, all of my classmates were smart people, a smart student, they're valedictorian, salutatorian, honorable mention, and then I was thinking of the career that I'm going to go with, I'm going to take, which is being a BPO, working in a BPO industry. Okay, don't get me wrong, disclaimer to those people working in the BPO industry, don't get so mad at me for those people. I know there you have ates for sure. Some of you have seen, even your mom was also in the BPO. Don't get me wrong. This is just like answering the question. So that time the career change, maybe, not maybe, but for sure, I definitely agree those career change from BPO industry dream going to the hospitality industry was absolutely the biggest change, and the most memorable, or I could consider be the most part of my life that I'm really thankful for. Because I was enlightened, because at that time, in the first place, and when I was enrolled in college, I said, oh, kasi ko ano mo pagka mag-IT jud ko, mag-computer related course jud, kay mag-call center jud ko, mag-thank you for calling jud ko, sure jud ko. And I really want to set this rolling chair, and then I can bend up my back and stuff. So it was okay. Here we go again. Then and the day past, weeks, months, and I'm seeing a lot of people coming back to going to UCLM, that they are already a technician, or let's say technical support from from the time is converges from the sites and stuff. This one, I get jealous. Okay, push ko ana, mo push ko mahimong call center agent kay dagko gikinis nag sweldo, sure jud ko bonggang-bongga jud akong makwarta jud ana. But I was really not that lucky to pass those kind of interviews that I have been with. Why? Because I wasn't first finishing college. I don't have 72 units. So I work in a Jollibee. Trying to working. I'm trying to go to college, but it doesn't. I'm not that smart to sustain my school, my grades. So when I finish the whole year, so I work in Jollibee, and then later time will come. So that was a start already. Came from hotels, jump into different companies, jump into different to the hotels. So the switching for me, in my case, it's very good because not only like for the from the working in the BPO, which is gaining big money, but because of the change that I've been get into, or that happens to me, was a very great one, because at the same time I'm gaining big money. Just try to imagine, guys, when you get in the future, those minimum wage are here, or let's say like how many you have, how much right now it's 500, so you have 5 times 3, so you have more or less 15,000, 16,000 for regular employees here. Okay, but of course, guys, I advise you need to have the experience as well. Antos lang good, take it easy. Just do the best that you can for everything what you're doing, and that's it. And then later from the nakasud na ko call center from the other small company as a call center agent, because push lagi ko nga mag call center agent lagi ko kay mo gina career na ako, pero pag switch na ako, na-shock ko nga iko la. Okay, na-enjoy na ako ang sa hospitality, na-enjoy na ako ang pag-serve and stuff and everything. Ya mo to nabot na tabos ako ang katong ipasailan ko, nangawat ko and stuff and then everything. And then na-push gyapon ko, pero ang akong perseverance and hard work jud nako, encourage jud nako, ang confidence nako, ako pa jud ki-boost pa jud nako pag-ayo para i-push nako kung galingon to be more productive, to be more competitive, to be more being myself to the interviewer, to the company. Then it brought me to the point that I decided to go to permanently to the hospitality industry. So in that time that I decided directly to switch from my dream, childhood dream, which is being a call center agent, switching to be a waiter, or to be a service, or to any, for example, for the cook, or working in the hospitality industry, makes me more appreciating about myself. So just try to imagine the money that a call center agent takes here, was double or triple. Imagine 15,000. Believe it or not, guys, 15,000 when you're working on the ship, more or less in the month, you could just have for tip. Just only for tip. I remind you, more or less, or let me say, pinakamhina na ninyo, if you're really that you're confident, those people who are shy, slowly develop your skills, guys. Those kind of shyness, confidence is always the key. Of course, confidence na, as I've said again, na wala mo'y naligsan, or walay na bother, or walay na himong dautan sa sitwasyon. As long as you're pushing yourself to your confidence, and then when I get to the ship, okay, when you see first to the ship, oh shucks, hallelujah, very big. Just try to imagine 14th floor, floating ship, 14th floor. Imagine 15 or 14, 15. Gamay ra gani akong barko. There's still a lot of people ship who came from bigger than mine. But the most important in my case that I'm really proud of, that the company that I've been with, that we need to have the language. So additional confidence in my part, because I'm not only a seafarer, I'm not only a cruise line waiter or cruise liner. I can also speak other language. I can speak also for the language that I've been with. So it's not easy for me to learn with this. I need to sacrifice about this. I need to develop this kind of, because I need to be competitive. That's why, as I've said a while ago, in the discussion a while ago, that there's some points that you need to be as aware of yourself, to develop your skills, to develop yourself being you. Don't depend yourself to others. Depend yourself to yourself. That you're capable of doing something great, doing or achieving something great. Because in my side, okay, I go to this level in the class until I reach to the level that I could be waiter for a couple of years, for 8 years in the ship. It was really so remarkable that I was really saying that switching, if it's really for you, it's really for you in my case. But if it's not really for you, then push more. That's really your dream, believe me, guys. As long as you are focused of what you are dreaming of, as long as you are dedicated and you are really disciplined of what you are doing, everything falls into places. Guys, tip: don't get confused in terms with your grades. Okay, grades could be helpful for you, but absolutely yourself is the most important when you apply in a certain job. This already in regards to others. So for me, the switching was really smooth for me. Sometimes it's really have a problem as well. I cannot sleep properly. I'm really tired, of course. But in a way that I was thankful, because the career that I've been dreaming of to be a call center agent, yeah, maybe we could be almost same salary. If those call center agent could have gained 100,000, maybe, sorry, or more. So those kind of money, okay, it's really starting to change your life, to change your plans in life. So not only yourself, but also your your plans in life changes. That's why, guys, advice to you: you are so young. All of you are young. Always focus to yourself. Always be. Sometimes, guys, being selfish is also a very good a very good attitude. Because why? Because if you're not depending to others, you're only depending to yourself, you will going to achieve something. Because siya gani siya, nakabalay magani siya. There for sure a lot of you are going, okay, ang uban gani, wala ko mag-eskwela, na-achieve magani, and everything, nag-negosyo magani. But it's another point, it's another courage, it's another page of another chapter or another booklet of fulfilling something. Okay? That is why if you seize yourself for a certain point that you like it, you must always have a plan B. Where are the other options that you're going to plan for? Where are the other things are you going to plan with? Because in life, there's no any certain. Only the change of your plans in life is going to be the most important there. Because to change is change. Because of course, for example, in my case before, I'm contented with this, but I have when I reached to the point that I really wanted to be something else or someone to achieve to buy something else, and then so just try to imagine, guys, kung nag-call center pa ako, siguro I'm not that smart person. Maybe I'm TL or team leader or maybe supervisor, it could be, but it's too miracle for me because I'm not that smart. But for those smart, okay, that could be, you could have a lot of money. But in my case, it's the switch of career was a very good way, and that's why what we're gonna say it in the positive way, a very very good way of shifting plans and careers, and absolutely living in the life that you're trying to be with right now in the hotel management industry. Absolutely a very good choice. Yeah, I know all of you, some of you were going to get changed. Oh, yeah, sir, na may pandemic current. Okay, why not? Just if you really wanted to still push it, remember, guys, nothing is certain in this world. Everything could change. What if you're going to withdraw with this and all of a sudden time will come? Then that's it. Anyway, it's not only, for sure, it's in your class in the next future, in the next 2-3 years of yours in your studying, there's still a lot of options that you can be with the hospital management. Yeah? That's really good, guys. That's why you're in the right track. I really admire your courage to get in and to having choice with those whose hotel management industry. That's really really good. So if you have plans in life, then absolutely you want a little bit shortcut. Seafaring is the best for me. In my situation, maybe seafaring is a good choice to have a shortcut. Yeah, that's it. Next question, if you still have.
That's it, sir. Thank you so much for answering our questions. I'm sure everyone has learned a lot from you and was inspired by you. And I'll give the floor back to our host.
Just always thank you guys, and then always believe in yourself. Put yourself in the hope for God and have faith with Him, because in everything what you're doing, it's always depends on you with the help of God. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. And once again, thank you, Mr. Effie, for your very humble and inspiring speech and also your words of encouragement. So, before we proceed to our next speaker, we will have first the giving of certificates. So, I'll now give the floor to Mr. Perez.
Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Mr. Mark Anthony Jefe for being our resource inspirational speaker of our virtual team building entitled Growing Together for the Service in the Future, held on November 30, 2021 via Google Meet, given this November 30, 2021 at Cebu City, Cebu, Philippines. Signed by our Hospitality and Tourism Instructor, Mrs. Marinel Kumahig, and signed by the Dean, College of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Dr. Rene D. Osorno.
Thank you, June, and
Thank you.
once again, thank you, Mr. Jefe. So, before we proceed, let us first witness dance prepared by Miss Florita and Miss Raffles.
Taught you how to do that trick with your stick. You so nasty, you so nasty. So let me give you that let me give you that running her hands through my fro, bouncing on 24s. Why they say that I'm ready? It's the remix to ignition. It's hot and fresh out the kitchen. I'm a rolling that body, got everything. Soñando para sana, di siempre tirada, ni me tirada, mucho emburu.
you so much, Miss Florita and Miss Ruffles, for the wonderful performance. Now let's proceed to our next speaker. The second speaker this afternoon is going to be introduced by my co-host, me,